Hi everyone, I'm Alan Richmond, your host for Inside the Naval Postgraduate School from Monterey, California. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, we'll look at the role of research in robotics and how they help support the warfighter. We'll also talk with our provost and executive vice president here at NPS, and we'll also look at how you can get an EMBA to help advance your career. Well, the Naval Postgraduate School here in Monterey, California is known for its cutting-edge technology. That's why I'm talking to you via a robot. I'm actually at Naval Postgraduate School in the Robotics lab, and we're about to find out more about the great research that goes on here with Dr. Rachel Goshorn. Rachel, tell us a little bit about your work. What kind of research are you doing here?
I'm involved in intelligence automation for the global war on terror and homeland security systems. So specifically distributed systems throughout multiple levels of what we call the global information grid for the Department of Defense. I've been involved in this research area for over 10 years, how to automate human intelligence. When I came to the Naval Postgraduate School, taught our students the future of the war on terror is automating expertise at the sensor systems.
Now, you always have interesting things, and I never know quite what they are, so maybe you can start explaining, and we're talking about generally robotics.
Okay, well, welcome. Well, in the lab here, you'll see several distributed intelligence automation systems. We started with fixed camera systems, so we have about 40 video cameras around the second floor of Bullard Hall for tracking people and doing anomalous behavior prediction and reaction. And then we've recently moved in the last year to mobile intelligence for robotics. So what you see here is a payload for one of our blimps, which has 2 video cameras, has GPS, it has 2 DSPs, it's IP, wireless, and this is the same payload for our ground robot here. So we have a dozen ground robots, and the purpose of them is to educate our students in the future of mobile intelligence for our war on terror and homeland security. So the research funnels into our education in our lab, and it's based around the need to automate human intelligence at the sensor platform node. So 2 driving functions drive automation. One is we need to prevent terror and crime in our borders and abroad. And so with that, we need to predict. So sensors need to gather information. We need to extract features, fuse them, predict behaviors, and automate rules of engagement, which has been a research area of mine and colleagues for the last 10 years. Another driving function is our current economic crisis. Budgets are being cut, and therefore we have less manpower, so we need to automate. Similar to the telephone operators of the 1920s. My grandma was a telephone operator, but during that time they predicted the number of people that would own telephones. They would need to hire every high school girl graduate in the country, which was not possible. So the switching circuit technology was invented to help automate human operations. So we are in a paradigm shift of not having enough humans to analyze sensor data, especially in unmanned systems. So we need to automate what humans see at the sensor node.
So you were mentioning how this technology is supporting the warfighter, and I would imagine in Afghanistan it's a big issue with all the problems with the IEDs. This would be kind of a solution for that, wouldn't it?
Yes, this would be an ideal solution. These unmanned systems are part of a paradigm shift for very low-cost robots. So we're focused on the intelligence automation that would be on the unmanned system. What you see here is a payload with 2 cameras, GPS, compass, 2 DSPs. It's a wireless IP, has 2 batteries, and they're under $2,000. So for about $2,000, this could be ruggedized and deployable. Now, these are IP, so they can talk to each other. We got these prototypes from a vendor company. They're easy to plug and play sensors. So in the IED example, we've added magnetic sensors, and the robots would go out and look for signatures of certain magnetic strengths. Now, since these are low cost, they could be self-destructible. So what rules of engagement could you automate on these unmanned systems? For example, if you knew no humans were allowed in a certain area of operations, you could have a squad of these go out with magnetic sensors, and when they find a certain signature of magnetic strength, they are Rules of engagement, they could have some C4 on here and self-destruct, destroy the IED, and is more cost-effective and protecting our EOD officers over in theater. Other examples are ground sentry duty. So normally humans are walking around and visualizing and monitoring certain areas and extracting features, fusing them, looking at behaviors. And these ground robots could help the productivity of humans be more valuable.
And you could do voice commands for this too. You were telling me that if someone was holding a rifle or a weapon, you could actually explain how that works.
Yes, so for example, if a squad needed to go into a building, which is very dangerous, you don't know what's in there, you could launch a few ground robots with some rules of engagement automated on them, give them their mission to look for certain features, say find a human and look for if they're holding an AK-47, which is a certain feature and shape which can be programmed and put at the camera's processors. And if the robots see anyone holding an AK-47, you could have a speaker on the robot saying in Arabic to drop their weapon. Then the next rules of engagement, if the weapon's not dropped, maybe you launch tear gas, a stun gun, shoot them, what can you automate?
It's very exciting work in the technology, and I know you've dedicated your life to this, so
Yes.
Thanks very much for sharing it with us, and good luck on your future work.
Well, working hard and here to help.
Robots, what will they think of next? Stay tuned, because after the break, we'll be telling you how you can get an EMBA right here from the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey.